Hey there! I love the Pelikan Souverän M1005 pen, and then my fellow reviewer AzizaGourmetPens.com said, well, you like the M1000 and you like demonstrators, so you should have a look at my M1005. This is the M1000, except where mine has gold highlights, this has rhodium trim, which makes it that silvery color that looks, I think, a little bit nicer on a demonstrator pen. So here's what we're going to do. Today we'll cover the parts of the pen, tell what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we'll do a writing sample. Now bear in mind, I didn't get the packaging from Aziza, but that's fine. I mean, it's just a packaging. If you want to, you can check out my video of the M1000 to see the way it was packaged. Today we'll talk about the pen, I'll tell what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and then we'll do a writing sample. So let's start the finial of the pen. Right at the top here, you see this interesting pelican. Of course, that derived the name, right? It's the logo. And then you have the clip, which is this stylized pelican bill. I still think that's very cool. And as you can see, all parts of the pen are visible. You've got the nib and feed. You've got the piston. Very, very cool. Then you have this center band, which says Pelikan Souverän Germany. I'll show you a close-up of that. Here we go. Very nice, crisp writing. Looks very cool. And then you have the actual piston, then the piston turning knob, which is actually also clear plastic, but with that rhodium plated stuff inside. Now, I'm assuming that's just chrome, but in any case, it's the piston housing. It looks very cool. When you unscrew the pen, or the cap, I should say, you've got the pen. This is a big pen. It's an oversized pen. I have fairly large hands, so from here to there it's about 8 inches. And this is really my pen size. Very nice girth. I love using this. I would personally use it unposted, but it's a big pen. The nib, unlike my Pelikan, as I said, has this rhodium trim. So you have the Pelikan logo. It says 18C, 750 for 18 karat. This is a fine nib. You have the feed. This is a big nib. I mean, a big nib. Here we have a Schaefer Cigaris, and then here is the Pelikan nib. So you see there is a mild difference there. So that's what I can tell you about the parts of the pen. What do I like about it? What do I not like about it? Well, it's an M1000. As I said, for me, larger hands, perfect size, great girth. I can use a pen like this and I can write for hours without my hands cramping up. It's not too thin, it's not too small, very pleasant to use. The nib is great, even this fine nib. Yes, I have a double broad on my M1000. That is very smooth. This is a fine, it gives a bit more feedback, but even so, a very pleasant nib to use. I would definitely, if a fine is like this, I can definitely use it. So that's very cool. It has a piston mechanism for the ink, which means, as you can see here, I mean, that's a lot of ink. It's already running a bit drier than it was, but I mean, that's really a lot of ink. And because this is a demonstrator, you can see how much ink you have left, which is very nice. Now, truth be told, with the regular Pelikans, if you hold them up to the light, you can see it as well because it's slightly transparent, but even so, it's cool that you can just see it. Demonstrators are not for everyone. Personally, I love them. I think it's great that you're able to see the inner workings, especially on a piston filler. It's just very cool to be able to see that mechanism, see it, you see, move the ink and operate. I think it's very, very cool. Things I don't like about it, well, the big size. It's an oversized pen. That's a double-edged sword. For me, it's fine, but I know that for some people it would be too much, too big of a pen. The weight, I think, is good. It's very balanced, but the big girth, some people simply would not like that. As I said, demonstrators are not for everyone. Posting is secure, but it's huge if you do that, so I don't think a lot of people would post this comfortably while writing. It doesn't post very deeply, as you can see here. But apart from that, it's a magnificent pen. Now, just to be sure, yes, you pay a lot for a pen like this, right? You pay a lot for an M1000, and this is a special edition, so it's even more expensive. But what you get in return is a really magnificent writing experience. I really am a big fan of these the M1000 pens. Superb nibs, really pleasant size, really pleasant to use. So when it comes to the price, for me it would be worth it, but I can see how for some people it would be too much. Okay, having said that, I think we need to take a couple of measurements and then we should do a writing sample. Let me first take the weight, so the pen is inked up, and I come to about 40 grams. Now this is a big pen. Capped, it's about 147 millimeters. That really is big. And uncapped, it's about 135 millimeters. Section diameter at the narrowest point is already about 12 millimeters. At the widest point, it's a good 12, so about 12.5 millimeters. That's really fat. So I think that's more than enough talk. We need to see this magnificent pen in action. That's what we're going to do next. Aziza, thanks. I'll put a link to her review in the description of this video. Writing sample. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye. Okay, so here we go with the Pelikan. Souverän M1005. The nib is fine, and the ink, guys, to be honest, I've forgotten which ink this is, but it's a blue. Yeah, I'm sorry. I have too many pens inked up. I'm trying to do a lot of reviews here, so this sometimes happens. Very pleasant writing experience, definitely a bit more feedback than my pen, but that has a double broad, and this is finer. Fast writing, nice wet line. So I really don't have any issues with the way this pen writes. How about wetness? Well, as I said, fairly wet writer. That really, I'm not exerting any pressure here. That really exerts a nice wet line. The paper is Clairefontaine, by the way. Line variation, I would say there is some really nice line variation to be had with this pen. Very, very pleasant, and as you can see, the feed keeps up reasonably well. Clearly, carefully, you don't overdo it, but you can definitely squeeze out some variation. As to reverse writing, some people like it. This is already a very fine nib, so I don't really see why you would like to do it, but it is possible the nib will keep up. And that's pretty much all there's to it. So Aziza, thank you for lending me a pen for a bit. I'm sure people will appreciate this review. I hope this was useful, and I'll see you later. Bye bye.